Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. So we'll be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, the creation, chapter 19, which is the last verse, last chapter of this canto, and text 12. It goes like this. The chapter is the appearance of Sukadeva Goswami. Let me share the screen. You can repeat after me if you can. Sukha pavishte swatoti subhuyaha Tuta pramanaha swachikirsitam yad Vigyapayamasa vivikta cheta Upastita grevi gruhita panihi Sukha pavishte swatate subhuyaha Tuta pramanaha swachikirsitam yat Vigyapayamasa vivikta cheta Upastita griha vigruhita panihi Sukha pravishta svatate subhiyaha Krita pramanaha swachikirsitam yat Vigyapayamasa vivikta cheta Upastita grevi gunita panihi. Anyone wants to try this? Try to recite. It's not that hard. Okay.
Prabhuji, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
I don't know the meter, so I'll just try and read my best. Sukho pavistive ata teshu bhuyaha
Sukha pavishte svatate subhuyaha
krita pramanaha sva chikarishitam yat
Krita pramanaha swachikirsitam yat
vinyapayam asha vivikta cheta
Vigyapayamasa vivikta cheta
upastito gre vigrahita panihi.
Upastita grevi gruhita panihi.
Thank you.
Very nice. So anyone else want to try? Okay. So we can do the synonyms. Sukha,
Sukha,
happily.
happily.
Upavishthesu,
Upavistesu,
all sitting down.
all sitting down.
Atha,
Atha,
thereupon.
thereupon.
Tesu,
Tesu,
unto them, the visitors.
unto them, the visitors.
Bhuyaha,
Bhuyaha,
again.
again.
Krita pramanaha,
Krita pranamaha,
having offered obeisances.
having offered obeisances.
Swa,
Sva,
his own.
his own.
Chikirsitam,
Chikishitam,
decision of fasting.
decision of fasting.
Yat,
Yat,
who.
who.
Vigyapayam asa,
Vigyapayamasa,
submitted.
submitted.
Vivikta chetaha,
Vivikta chetaha,
one whose mind is detached from worldly affairs.
one whose mind is detached from worldly affairs.
Upastitaha,
Upastitaha,
being present.
being present.
Agre,
Agre,
before them.
before them.
Avigrihita panihi,
Abhigrihita pani,
humbly with folded hands.
humbly with folded hands.
Translation purport by His Divine Grace of Charan Arvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
After all the rishis and others had seated themselves comfortably, the king, humbly standing before them with folded hands, told them of his decision to fast until death. Purport: although the king had already decided to fast until death on the bank of the Ganges, he humbly expressed his decision to elicit the opinions of the great authorities present there. Any important decision, however, formally fixed, should be confirmed by some authority. That makes the matter perfect. This means that the monarchs who ruled the earth in those days were not irresponsible dictators. They scrupulously followed the authoritative decisions of the saints and sages in terms of Vedic injunction. Maharaj Parikshit, as the perfect king, followed the principles by consulting the authorities even up to the last days of his life. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tashmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mayham Dadati Swa Padantikam Bande Aham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhanvitam Sa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. So Sukha Pavishte Satate Bhuyah Kuta Pramana Swachikirsitam Yat Vigyapayamasa Vivikta Cheta Upastita Grevi Guhita Panihi. After all the rishis and others had seated themselves comfortably, the king, humbly standing before them with folded hands, told them of his decision to fast until death. So this is a subject matter. Srimad Bhagavatam sets the platform. How important this subject is by seeing the scene, how the great personalities has come, how they're sincere about it, sincerely come, and they're creating a very conducive atmosphere before Srimad Bhagavatam is going to be recited. So Parikshit Maharaj, the mood of Parikshit Maharaj, we all have to remember this, that the king is about to leave the body, even though he is with healthy mind and body. It's like so many arrangements are being done. The Vedas teaches that the living is important and leaving this world is also very, very important. Living is important, living in this world is also very, very important. The pastime where we just read before, Bhishma Dev. When Bhishma Dev left his world, left his body, he was shot by arrows of Arjuna throughout his body. Basically, it is said that he was lying on the bed of arrows. Unusual and unbelievable, right? People will think this is as a story. No, this is in history. This is in history. It has been recorded by Vyasdev and for the mankind. So we can see how great people lived in the past, the great devotees. So when Bhishma Dev was lying on the bed of arrows, he did not complain. He did not complain. Even while lying on the bed of arrows, he was continuing his vows, because he has taken vow that until and unless he see the kingdom, which is Hastinapur, is safe, is protected, he cannot leave his body. Because he had this power that he can leave his body by his own will. It's called Ichha Mrityu. Generally, Ichha Mrityu, leaving the body, their own will, is attained, this perfection is attained by yogis. To the yogic process, they leave to the cerebral gland to the head, and for proper time, in proper suitable auspicious moment, they can leave the body and they can go wherever they want, they are desiring to go. Higher planetary systems or lower planetary system or spiritual world, they can go based on a desire. So that's the way living the world, living their body, the yogis practice. Many yogis we can see nowadays also, they say, oh, you will know I will leave my body during this time. So people in general, they are not aware of the science of yogic science, how yogis can leave their body by their own will. So sometimes they start worshipping him, thinking that, oh, he's such a great person, he's like God. How did he know he's going to leave the body? Well, the yogis have certain, perfections, siddhis. So Bhishma Dev, what we learn from Bhishma Dev's activity is that in spite of he is situated in such a difficult situation, he was never worried. He was never worried. Rather, whatever his bodily situation it is, he was completely composed in devotional service. His mind and heart was completely absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. That's why in his last moment, he requested his last will that he wanted to see Lord Krishna. And which form? That form which Lord Krishna played during the war, like chivalrous activity with Bhishma Dev. And Bhishma was playing with Krishna, and he knows that because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he's acting like a actor here. And Bhishma Dev knew all these secrets, so he was playing with Krishna because he loves Krishna so much. And he sometimes he shoots his arrow also to Krishna. And he meditates how wonderful the Lord is. His curly hair, yellow dresses, bluish body, and the dust during the war has spread all over him, and he looks very beautiful. And Bhishma Dev is always meditating on that form. So he requested, let me meditate on that form. That is the nature of devotional service. Even by practicing devotional service, one can be steady even in the last moment of one's death. Thus Krishna's assurance in Bhagavad Gita 2.72, 2.71, 2.72, right? Now, with similar situation, we can see Prabhupada. Those who have seen Your Ever Well-Wisher. One is Your Ever Well-Wisher documentary. The other one is the separate video, The Departure of Srila Prabhupada. The Prabhupada's body is like totally collapsed. He would not take even food, and maybe he took some drink. And for all last 1 month, before the month he was departing, he did not take anything. This month, this October month, we'll be observing Srila Prabhupada's departure. Even the last moment of his life, he's lying on the body, still he's dictating Srimad Bhagavatam, translating Srimad Bhagavatam. Everything acts according to the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And you can see that. Why? These Mahajanas are setting an example for us what we should be doing, how we should be planning our life in such a way that our journey will be wonderful. That's why we are completely indebted to such personalities. All of them, Srila Prabhupada, Bhishma Dev, and here Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj was cursed. And we can see that generally we try to defend. Oh, I'm not done this, I'm right, I'm not in fault. We generally defend. And before even he heard that Rishi Shringi has cursed him, he himself was lamenting for his own act. He himself was asking for reactions for his act. If you notice, there, he says, why I did this thing? I shouldn't have done this. Let something happen to me so that I don't have to lament later. Let this reaction take place right now to me. Who in this world will ask for like this? Unless one is very humble and one is accept the truths, and one is fully convinced, situated in the platform of devotional service, no one will ask, beg forgiveness. In ISKCON, there are many cases happened in the past. Devotees come, many backgrounds they come, practice. We all come from different backgrounds. We all come different practices, different conditioning. So there's a child abuse case in ISKCON when happened. So there were, there was a court case in ISKCON happened. For many years, ISKCON, this went. For many years, it went. And you know what happened? Finally, all the devotees, they went and they accepted. Okay, this is the mistake has happened. We have committed this mistake. It happened in our society. So by hearing this, the judge was very happy. He said that nobody has come and accepted like such mistake. It happens in churches, it happens in many other places. So they reduced the penalty by the genuineness of the devotees. This all is a great test. So Parikshit Maharaj teaches us with his own example how bhakti is pure and bhakti is genuine. When it is practiced genuinely, one can really certainly attain the mercy of Lord Krishna. That is devotional service, pure devotional service. So he accepted, he prayed, let this happen. And suddenly he hears that, oh, he's going to die in a week. That part he did not know. So when the Samik Rishi came and informed as a friendly reminder, informed in a friendly way, not in an anger mode, so that this is going to happen, Parikshit Maharaj accepted this. But he had a lot of responsibilities. And he immediately gave up all of them because he knew that the Lord will take care. Many times people are worried. I was hearing from Prabhupada this morning, the anxiety of materialistic men never ends. Because when you're a child, you're in anxiety. How you can become big. When you little grow up, you go to school, you're in anxiety. When you go to school, when you get a job, how to get a job, you're in anxiety. Then you get married, you're in anxiety. When you have children, oh, how will I take care of my children, they have to study, they have to go to school, they have to go to college, I have to raise all this money, is anxiety. After the children settle down also, I'm seeing even many people come. The children are big, they finish their college, still so many people are working for the children, I have to pay the bills for my child. So I have seen people at the age of 60, 65 also still working to pay off the bills for their children. Anxiety. Whole life went in anxiety only. However, Krishna consciousness is the way of to get free from anxiety. Actually, not free from anxiety, to get free from material anxiety and get anxiety for, who can answer? It should be anxiety for whom?
Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah. That's very nice. Everybody's understood it. I have become devotee. I'm supposed to be free from all these troubles. I'm supposed to be liberated. No problems should be coming to me. Then what is happening to me? Still disease happens. Still troubles comes to me. Still old age comes to me. Even I'm devotee. But no matter what, I still continue to serve and take all these anxieties for satisfaction of Krishna. Yes. And in perfected stage, pure stage, you will see the pure devotees who have nothing to do this with the material world and who come to serve Krishna from the spiritual world, they're always in anxiety. Example, Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. Mother Yashoda is always in anxiety. Why? Oh, Krishna is such a little child. He's going to forest. What is going to happen? Some animals may attack him. All this constant, when he's going to come back, that's anxiety. When you're a small child, when you first time you send school, you wait, hope everything goes well, or everything's safe. When is going to come back? Right? So we have that same affinity, same attachment is there for Krishna also. And that is perfect, that is called perfection of life. When one gets that anxiety, it is called a perfection of human life. Is nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong to have anxiety, but because life will be full of anxiety, either material anxiety or spiritual anxiety. Then what is the difference then? The difference is that the Lord reciprocates in our heart. It's a transcendental, it's a joy. To be anxiety for Krishna is a joy. To work hard for Krishna gives a joy. You can work so many hours outside and you can work for Krishna. So that's why Bhagavad Gita explains that one will practice this bhakti. It gives a pleasure. It gives a lot of pleasure. So with this, we can see Parikshit Maharaj sat down on the bank of Ganges to decided that now in the 7 days, I'm not going to eat or drink. Remember the Lord only. So as soon as this decision came about Parikshit Maharaj, people from all over the world and the people from all over the universe has started coming because this unusual thing. And primarily they came because Parikshit Maharaj is a great devotee of the Lord. And by hearing this incident that he's been cursed, and Parikshit Maharaj is sitting in the bank of Ganges, all the rishis and sages and great devotees of all over the world has come, universe has come and assembled there. Now Parikshit Maharaj received them very, very nicely. They received each and every one of them very nicely. Here it says that after all the rishis and others had seated themselves comfortably, the king, humbly standing before them with folded hands, told them of his decision to fast until death. So he already shared, he decided At the same time, he already shared that his decision to others, and he is willing to accept their suggestions. Now, Prabhupada writes, although the king had already decided to fast, until death on the bank of the Ganges, he humbly expressed his decision to elicit the opinions of the great authorities present there. So this is called etiquette. Now we learn. When he decided, it's his own decision, is a determination. I want to dedicate my time in remembering the Supreme Lord now. But when he saw that great sages, great devotees has arrived in this place, he did not deviate from the etiquette. Right? This is the etiquette. He expressed his decision to the great authorities. Any important decision, however firmly fixed, should be confirmed by some authority. This is Prabhupada writes. We cannot do whimsically anything. Oh, I know, I can do whimsically. Even though we know that is correct. But we have to get it confirmed by the great devotees or senior devotees. Because every act has to be blessed by Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. They have to. Any activity cannot be performed whimsically. So this is another lesson we can learn from this pastime, that Parikshit Maharaj is a great devotee. He saw the Lord from the womb. He self-realized. He made sure that Kali is not entering at all into this kingdom. He was always remembering Krishna. All his qualities, the great qualities, has been narrated during his birth. You remember? Yudhishthira Maharaj asked Kripacharya, I think he asked Kripacharya, that what is the nature of this boy, characteristics of this boy? And it's such a wonderful quality, Parikshit Maharaj. No one else in this earth you can find. He'll be like Lord Ramachandra, he'll give charity like anything, uncomparable in all his activities. So that's the position of Parikshit Maharaj. He's not an ordinary soul. Still, he did not deviate from the etiquette. And all the sages know that he's a king, he's a Kshatriya. Generally, Kshatriyas are considered the lower than Brahmana or lower than any transcendental position, but he just says in the body of a king, in the dress of a king. He just says in the dress of a king. So he's completely qualified. Because of him only, the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken. Lord Krishna did not make any other arrangement. He found Parikshit Maharaj a suitable candidate to be spoken first. So that is the position of Parikshit Maharaj. Even though there are so many great sages are there in this world. So being a Grihastha is not bad. Griha thako, bane thako, sada bale hari dhako. Either you live in temple as a brahmachari, or live in a house as a Grihastha, or you're a Vanprastha or sannyas. And our primary job is to always call Lord Krishna's holy names. Sada bale hari dhako. There is no difference. Ramananda Raya, who is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associate. And at the same time, we hear the 6 direct disciples of Lord Chaitanya also, starting from Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. They're completely renounced. They're wear only copins. They're living under a tree, one tree. Today they live under this tree, tomorrow they live under another tree, so that they don't have to get attachment to a particular place. Such a highly renounced person, Rupa Goswami, we are following his teachings. Still, he's a Grihastha. He's a Grihastha. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who has 10 children, is a Grihastha, still is called 7th Goswami. So Parikshit Maharaj, just because he's in a position of hearing, that does not lower his position. Lord Krishna chosen Parikshit Maharaj to be the suitable candidate to be spoken Srimad Bhagavatam. Such a great family. He has a children. He's engaged in so much of administrative tasks day to day, worldly activities. But his heart and mind is 100% to Krishna. This is beauty of Krishna consciousness. So when he saw the great sages came, he himself is a great devotee, but still he took the opinions of the great authorities. So, Prabhuji or Swami, I'm doing this. Is it right? Any important decision, however firmly fixed, should be confirmed by some authority. That's why in our movement, we see that we take permission. No one does whimsically. We have a counseling system. We have counselors. We have presidents. We have Diksha Gurus. We have Siksha Gurus. We have Prabhupada. Everybody's there. That's why we are protected. We are very much protected, and that makes the matter perfect. This means that the monarchs who ruled the earth in those days were not irresponsible dictators. So nowadays there's a slogan that, democracy has to be there. And there's no choice now. Democracy is everything now. Everybody's ended up with democracy. You don't know democracy, who is he? Does he have a qualification? It's just based on the number of votes, one becomes king. Recently, I saw one of the video in India is coming. Before election, this candidate is going to town and villages, giving them wine bottle and meat. Okay, guess for what?
To buy his presidency or to buy his.
So what is the use of such kind of vote people give? What is the use of such kind of vote? You're just getting the head count of dogs and cats. So democracy is like that. Whoever gets the number of votes, he is going to be successful, win. And they're very envious of monarch. They're very envious of monarch. However, the real monarch is they're qualified, they're trained. At the same time, they're consulted with Guru Sadhu Shastra. They never made a whimsical, independent decision. No, that's not right. So people may take very recent example. Oh, look at this. This emperor did this. This emperor did this. Well, they may have done the wrong thing, but it doesn't mean that since time immemorial, the monarchs who did, Lord Ramchandra and Parikshit Maharaj, they all did it. They followed the authorities. They followed the authorities. That's why they're called sages. They scrupulously followed the authoritative decisions of the saints and sages in terms of Vedic injunction. Maharaj Parikshit, as a perfect king, followed the principles by consulting the authorities even up to the last days of his life. Here's again another lesson. The more senior we become, our position is to be humbler and humbler and humbler. We never become big. We always remain small. Bhakti means to become smaller and smaller and smaller. The other day we were discussing about Raghunath Das Goswami. He born such an aristocratic family. Okay, then he got assistance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was blessed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was doing parikrama of Govardhan every day. And in old age also he was doing parikrama. His body was kind of collapsing. But daily he was offering 1,000 dandavas to the devotees. Offering obeisances to devotees, 1,000. Well, what is this position? Raghunath Das Goswami established Radha Gopinath temple also. Still, he in his last moment of life, he would offer obeisances to the Vaishnavas. Basically, the great symptoms of the great devotees means is really become humbler and humbler and humble, more and more day by day. The tree which bears the fruit, it bends. It bends. It bends with that in front of the Lord. It bends in front of his representatives. bends in front of spiritual master, he bends with the devotees. However, in the materialistic life, one is forced to bend. You don't surrender, suddenly you have to collapse. You have to be bedridden. And you depend on other people. Okay, please help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. And the spiritual life is totally different. You're voluntarily accepting, and Krishna likes that attitude, and one becomes eligible to enter the kingdom of God. So there are Daivi and Asuri qualities, which are explained in Bhagavad Gita, divine and demonic nature. So simply by chanting Hare Krishna and rendering service under the directions of the devotees, one will naturally develop those qualities, divine qualities. When it's a natural developed divine qualities, means those qualities are already there within. They just manifest. Because soul is full of, can have 50 qualities actually. Soul can have 50 qualities. Lord Krishna has 64 qualities. Living entity can have 50 qualities. So it is all these qualities we see, talk about, it is there in us. But because of our association with matter, because of our association with all these bad things, illusion, we have a perverted way manifesting all these qualities. But as we cleanse our heart, cheto darpanamajanam, bhav mahadavagninirvapanam. So as we cleanse our heart, you will see the gold is going to shine. It's not like those qualities are externally injected by somebody outside. So there's a book called 26 Qualities of a Vaishnava. I don't know if anyone has seen it. I can share with all of you. So you can get an idea what is 26 qualities of Vaishnava. So they manifest when we sincerely practice devotional service. They manifest. So this Kartik, month of Kartik is coming on Sunday. And we will take this opportunity whole month to meditate on this Supreme Personality of Godhead, improve our sadhana, and hope some of the qualities will manifest in us with the proper practice. Hare Krishna. I'll pause here. Any questions, comments, corrections? Anyone like to share something? Please do so.
Prabhuji, thank you for such a great class and constant reminders of, we can't navigate this path of bhakti on our own. We always have to check with authorities. Even, Bhagavad Gita says, the world will follow the example of a great person, of a great man, right? So even, Krishna Balaram in the past times had a spiritual master. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a spiritual master, even though, we're talking about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to show an example to the rest of us, we were given this example so that we can always, because we may think we know what's right, but we don't always know what's right. Many times in my own personal path within Bhakti, I'm like, oh, this is definitely the right way to do this. But checking with authorities and checking with, empowered devotees and senior devotees has always set my path straighter than it was before. And it's so interesting because you were talking about the anxieties of growing up as well. As a kid, you're anxious to become older. When you're in school, you're anxious to get a job. When you get a job, you're anxious to take care of your kids. And even when you're older, 65 and older, you're still anxious for something. It reminds me of when Prabhupada first came to America, and he saw what retired life looked like in America. He saw people playing golf. He saw people, going on vacations. He's like, this is what retired life is. This is like the opportunity to actually. This is finally like where you are supposed to rid yourself of these material anxieties to be anxious for Krishna. But instead, we're anxious for golf. We're anxious for the beaches. We're anxious for all these material things. And I'm just thankful that we have these empowered devotees. We have Prabhupada, and we have all these books, and we have senior Vaishnavas to look to point us on that proper path and remind us what we really should be focusing on and what we should really be anxious for, which is love for Krishna and devotion to Krishna and devotional acts and devotion to the devotees. So thank you for a great class and thank you for the reminders. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for sharing for your comments. Very nice. Yeah, that's right. We are very fortunate. We are not alone in our path, and we Prabhupada has created a whole facility, that's whole support system. Anybody can just plug in, and his journey is going to be wonderful. But one has to have a patience and tolerance and determination. Very nice. Thank you. Any other comments? Anyone else has more? Share something? Okay. If not, let's have everyone have a wonderful day and have nice sadhana. We'll reconnect again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Welcome.
Krishna.